pastores stavo vobis, juxta codeum.
Yeah, I know. I was supposed to give these up for Lent, but you know what happens. So anyway, thanks for coming back. It's for our reflection for the third Sunday of Lent. I know we missed last week, but we were away on Slack Week. I just want to ask you, have you ever been really, really thirsty? You know, like after working really hard or like a big workout, exercise. I usually am not that thirsty because I try to avoid those two things, working hard and, exercising. But I do still get thirsty once in a while. And thirst can do really crazy things to you. So if you get too dehydrated, physically you could get fatigued. You might start feeling faint. Your kidneys might start to fail. And psychologically, you might actually start to experience delirium. And both those things lead to death. Well, this past Sunday at the parish, I told this story about how thirst once got to me. It happened during my first visit to Rome in 1995. And so my friend and I were going to be taking a tour of St. Peter's Basilica one morning. And it was a really hot summer day, late June, early July. And I was feeling really, really thirsty. And I finally broke down and I bought a can of Coke from a vendor just outside of St. Peter's Square at that time for about 5,000 lira. This was, so in 1995, that was almost $5 for a can of Coke. So you can imagine how much that would be today. So if you knew how cheap I am and how cheap I was, you know that the thirst was causing delirium in me. Well, as I said, this past Sunday at the parish, we celebrated the first scrutiny for the RCIA, and we heard the great gospel story from the Gospel of John of the woman at the well. And in that story, there's two great thirsts that meet. First of all, there's Jesus, who's thirsty for water, but that thirst is really a symbol for a deeper thirst. He wants that woman to recognize him as the Messiah, and to recognize him as the one who will satisfy all her longings, all her thirsts in life. Now, the woman herself is also thirsty, but she's thirsty for love. And so both of them, have done kind of risky things out of their thirst. Jesus is talking to a woman in public, and a Samaritan woman at that. And the Samaritan woman, she's been in several relationships. So she's had 5 husbands, and the man she's with now is not her husband. So she's been searching, and she can't find the love that will truly fulfill her. If I was to sing something right now, I might sing Can't Get No Satisfaction or Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. But I promise you, I will not try to sing either of those two. But you know what? After that encounter, the woman very symbolically does something important. There's one detail. She leaves behind her bucket. And what that means is that, she's no longer coming for water. She's no longer thirsty. So she's found the one thing that is going to quench her thirst, that is going to perfectly fulfill her. And that's Jesus Christ. Well, I think for us during this Lenten season, we need to make ourselves, just like that woman, we have to make ourselves a bucket list. And I don't mean a list of things we should do before we die, but I mean like a list of those things that we keep going back to over and over again that we think are going to fulfill us, but that never do. And that keep us from going to Jesus, who will fulfill us. So cheers. Hopefully next Lent I'll be able to keep my Lenten fast. But until then, have a great Lent.